Groovy. He doesn't say it like that. But yeah, that's also not from the correct movie. That's from Ash. This figure was from Ash versus the Evil Dead. This is the first time I'm seeing Evil Dead. I don't even think I've seen Evil Dead 1, to be honest with you, but heard this one's better. I don't need to watch the first. A lot of people, but Dead 2 is the lone survivor of an onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits holds up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons plan their attack. This movie's just a lot of fun. I really think the writing has such a charm to it. I definitely laughed quite a bit this movie, with like it's slapstick humor and like the one-liners are so cheesy. I love them. Sam Raimi, he does a great job at directing in this, like building up a lot of these jump scares. I think all the scares were really well done. I definitely liked a lot of the shots, like a lot of the following shots and a lot of the quick zoom ins and etc. A lot of the Sam Raimi shots that I've known about but just have seen for the first. He has so much gore in it, and I'm here for it. I'm not usually like I don't look for gore, but for this it was so funny to see like these just excessive amounts of blood flowing like a water hose, like so ridiculous. The team did a fantastic job in this. Like every creature like has such a personality to them. They all look different, and I think like the practical effects still hold up really well. They did a great job as well. Visual effects like the CG here and there was, but I mean it was made in the 80s, but yeah, for the most part, I think the hand specifically, Ash's hand, was really well done. I actually would love to see behind the scenes stuff for both like the makeup and the practical effect of Ash. Bruce Campbell, I love him. He's so good in this. He's just such a badass, and I think he's really funny. I love what he does with his facial expressions, like specifically with kind of the eyebrows. He's just such a funny guy. I do think like when it comes to the personal moments, I could tell there's a couple times they have different angles just to make it a little bit more interesting. Because I could tell that like that's not a strong suit. But I mean, that being said, I think he just sells this movie with his charisma as Ash. So much so that I do think he overshadows the other characters. Jake and Bob and Lee were so stupid, but I just thought they were a lot of fun. They weren't like bad. They just really play these like very tropey like redneck scam artists. I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish, but they definitely they just wanted something, and they just wanted like $100. They definitely get what's coming to them. I suppose, I don't know. They get like stabbed and assaulted and a couple other things that are like, oh, all right. I mean, I didn't think you were that scummy. My negatives are kind of mainly nitpicks. Like I said, I didn't like the rest of it. I feel like with like Annie, I didn't love how most of it. Maybe I'm just overlooking it, but I just felt there were too many scenes of her being like a will they won't they with Ash, and I think she's just very trusting for like every other character is like Ash broke in to her parents' cabin, and she trusts him like very quickly, even with the information he gets, and like the just these rednecks that she can clearly tell are trying to scam her for her money, try to get something out of her. And then there's also just all the creatures, like I just feel like she doesn't. I don't. I just really don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on her, and that's kind of my problem with her. I didn't think she was bad, but I didn't really find too many performances she was great. She had a couple, like one or two badass moments, but for the most part, I just think Ash just really overshadows her, and I thought she should have become more of a main character. First act really drags. I think that I wish they would have cut most of that to give development to Annie, or just something and more scenes with them, because we spend a lot of time with Ash, and not that it was bad seeing his character like break down, but like there's just a lot of scenes where he's like with the whole hand scene just got out of hand. I wasn't even trying to do that. But yeah, I thought that could have been cut down a bit. It was just as funny as it was. I thought it went a little too long. Same with the scene of him laughing with like the deer head and the lamps and all that. I definitely thought all that could have been cut down. I like Ash quite a bit. I think the Sam Raimi does a great job at directing like a lot of the comedic scenes and horror scenes, and it's even like there's some action scenes in this. I think the makeup team and practical effects team do a great job, and I think Bruce Campbell steals the show for good and bad reasons. I thought we could have developed the rest of the cast more instead of spending so much time with Ash. But that being said, I really just don't have much else to say. I think this was a fun time, and I definitely will probably watch this again at some point. I mean, yeah, I just don't really have much else to say. My final rating for this is an 8 out of 10.